Saw 10, aka Saw X, aka Socks, came out last September, and Saw 11, aka Saw XI, is coming out next September, and I honestly can't wait. But I won't have to wait long to experience a new trap, because today I'm inventing some of my own, by drawing them. Fun fact, I woke up with a sore leg this morning, but I don't need legs, I make art content. Also, I can't find my phone. So it's a rough start, but I think that's good for the theme of the video. Alright, so let's draw some little traps. Maybe some big ones. I have a few ideas, I'll explain them as I go. So what I'm drawing right here is a circle, but what I'm drawing now is an oval. So if you must know, I'm attempting to draw a gas mask. Let me just delete that entire thing. So this is a little cylinder on the side. So I just gotta get the basic shape. Oh, this is a side view. I don't know if that was obvious. Okay, so you'll slowly start to see it look actually like what it should. Since most people have a nose, that is gonna be useful. Alright, so we're gonna have a giant eye hole, glasses. I'll explain what this actually is momentarily. Okay, now I can reasonably say this is starting to look like a gas mask. Alright, so here's the situation. I'm gonna have spikes coming out of this thing. I'll draw another angle as well so it makes a little bit of sense, but someone's gonna have to stick this on their face, stick this into their face in order to wear it. So basically, the room starts filling up with a deadly gas. It'll be like the nerve gas house from Saw 2.
Right now, you are breathing in a deadly nerve agent.
So they're gonna wanna not breathe that in. So the clock starts, they have 60 seconds to put on this mask, or the room's gonna fill with gas, and they're not gonna have a good time. So we're getting kind of, looking at the back of it. So this is that side filter thing. You get the idea. Suppose we should add a little thickness to that. Are these proportions the same? No. Doesn't matter. Now thinking logistically about the spikes, you couldn't exactly dig them into your bones. So what I'm thinking is like one in each cheek, right? And the only way to wear it is to spike them in. So we'll have spikes coming in like this. Not from the rim of the helmet, from a little bit inside. Then we have some, like, kind of in the temple. Might have to change the side view. So these are gonna be thin enough to go into your temple. I'm not Jigsaw, he would place them perfectly. I guess a couple of spikes down here. I'm not exactly going on model from the side drawing. Also, I just realized the perspective of the inside is completely off. I don't think I need to show that. I can just have it like dark. This is like the wall of, this is the front. And you see the spikes are coming out of the wall. This top spike doesn't really fly. It's a little plain, maybe a little easy. So what we're also doing is we're lacing the mask with acid. I couldn't tell you what kind of acid. I'm not an expert on that. Something that doesn't melt the mask, but does melt your skin. So it's just gonna be laced around the edge of this and also kind of splattered upon the inside. So you're gonna get spiked up, you're gonna get a little singed, but you'll survive. As long as you have the power of will. So I'll draw someone actually wearing this thing. They can be clothed. I'll grant you that luxury. So this spike's gonna be really digging in, like so. I don't think it would really bleed like this. It'd be kind of clogged. You gotta do it. Maybe I'll draw a little gas seeping up. Well, so that's that. You have to impale this mask into your head. Tight enough. How tight would you have to get that? Logistics don't matter. Put it on, or you're gonna be gassed in 60 seconds. You get spikes to the face, you get acid burns, but you don't die. Now, what to call it? Spike mask? It's a bit lame. The mask of suffering. The inflictor. To take your pick. How about I move on to the second saw trap? I'm gonna draw a man. Circle, always a good start. I've seen better circles in my day, but certainly good enough. I have this kind of angle. Yep, that's a person. I'm gonna have a little donut shape around the neck. A necklace, if you will. It's more like a halo. So right now it's floating. I suppose it could be resting on the shoulders. But what we're gonna have here is a couple of spikes running through this thing. I know, I'm doing spikes again. But this is different, okay? So that might look like it's piercing his neck, but it's not quite yet. Make that a little longer. Okay, that's another spike. I don't like the placement. Not gonna lie, I'm going about it all wrong. But I can just draw single lines to get the like direction and size. I have one at the front for good measure. There's also one at the back that you can't see. They should just go off the screen because they have to be really long. Let me explain. This device right here, when triggered, will send these spikes shooting up into the face. Probably already figured that out, but it's nice to clarify. So yep, there's gonna be a time limit. If you reach it, you're getting spiked in the face. We'll make this a little 3D. All right, so the question is, how do you stop it? Well, you're gonna need a key. I haven't thought about the logistics of how this is actually locked on. It can be split down the middle, and once you unlock it, you can kind of just break it in half. I'll do a little keyhole over here. So that's a keyhole that's gonna work somehow. I'll draw a face, and then I'll explain how you actually get the key. I'm not gonna draw a freaking realistic face. It'll be a face. He's looking down at the collar, not quite enjoying the situation. I'll try not to make it a bowl cut. That's kind of ugly, but it's fine. Let's, why don't I explain what the actual trap is? So he has to get a key, right? It's probably gonna have a ridiculous time limit, like 30 seconds. Oval. So if you can guess where this is going. We have a big cylinder. This is where the key will be. I don't think it'll be see-through, but for the purposes of demonstration, this will be see-through. It's filled with liquid. Basically just filled with boiling water. And there will in fact be a key at the bottom. Let's draw one of those like cartoon keys. I gotta show you the scale of this thing, so we'll draw a human. It's a bare torso situation. So this is the same guy, and he's gonna have to reach basically his whole entire arm into the bottom of this thing. Probably even have to get his face close to it. It's kind of chest high, but I know boiling water's boring. Could have done acid, but it's a little too unoriginal. So I'm gonna spice it up by adding a piranha.
Piranha.
John.
Shout out Saw 6. What a feisty little creature. I'm gonna do a couple of piranhas. He's really happy about it. I don't know if piranhas can survive boiling water, but in this universe they definitely can. All right, the bottom of the pool. That's what this is. It's a pool, not a cauldron of boiling water. Doesn't exactly look like it's boiling, so let's do some of this. Now, does that imply it stinks? Maybe. Well, here it is. I actually have a half-decent name for this, since it's kind of halo-shaped, and you get impaled by a bunch of spikes if you lose. I'm gonna call it the Impalo, because halo, impale. I don't know if the piranhas would just, like, attack you viciously and make it impossible, but definitely add some flair to it. That's fun. Let's move on to the third saw trap. Okay, this one is gonna be rather grand. Last two were kind of intimate little contraptions. No spoilers, but if you've seen all the movies, this is something Jigsaw could pull off. Right, so let me just start drawing something here. This is the room we're in. I have something like this. Run-of-the-mill room. I'm gonna draw a hole in the floor over here. There's always a circle involved. This one's just in a different perspective. Okay, now here's the thing. This hole is filled with barbed wire. I don't know, 5 feet, 1.5 meters deep. This is the barbed wire. I guess it shouldn't be too densely packed. Now here's the thing. You're gonna have to jump into this pit of barbed wire because this wall is moving this way. And this wall is staying where it is. And you're gonna be standing over here. This is a tall room. Well, my camera died, but I can just keep drawing while it charges. So, let's bring the ceiling down a little bit. Perhaps this pit should be bigger. So this trap is pretty simple. Pretty simple in idea. Execution, probably difficult. This entire wall is gonna be moving from right to left, and you're gonna have to jump into this pit before it passes over it. Because if not, you are getting squished against this wall, straight into a pancake. You probably have about 30 seconds to decide to run across the room and jump into the pit of barbed wire. And you have to really get in there so you don't get decapitated. As the wall passes over you, I don't know how thick it'll be. Maybe it should be like super thick. So you have to stay in there at least until the wall passes. You can hop out, just make your merry way home. So the barbed wire would have to be sparse enough that you can actually get in there and not die. Yeah, there's not a lot to draw on this one. I don't want to draw a full detailed human for this. I'm gonna draw a light on the ceiling. Yeah, I think it'd be very hard mode if this room was pitch black. Okay, I'll make this a little more full-bodied. Yeah, there we go. This really is a massive room if you look at the scale of the human. I should draw him actually in the pit as well. That's the missing ingredient here. So you're gonna have to be really buried. I've drawn a Diglett. There's a little bit of Well, there's a lot of blood spraying out right now. Well, you get the idea. I'll make the wall move forward as well. These walls are made of metal, by the way. And that is trap number 3. Simple conceptually, difficult to beat physically, probably difficult to engineer. I will call it the hidey hole, because you hide in a hole. Wow, that's gonna sting. That was fun. I'm gonna go eat some dinner because nothing works up the appetite quite like a bunch of torture devices. Well, anyway.
Hello, science sandwich. Or should I say, Tom? For years, you've squandered away your time sitting in front of a screen, making content even more mediocre than that which you consume. How useful are those legs of yours? Today we will see.
I woke up with a sore leg this morning, but I don't need legs.
Right now, there's a deadly nerve agent filling this room. You should be all too familiar with its effects.
It'll be like the nerve gas house from Saw 2.
The windows and doors are blockaded. Your Wi-Fi is disabled, and I have your phone.
Also, I can't find my phone.
The only way to survive long enough to leave this room is with an antidote. I'll give you just one hint as to where I've hidden it. Let the game begin.
But I won't have to wait long to experience a new trap.